What's up, everybody? We're here again with another Rapper's Corner. And in today's episode, we're going to have a good friend, longtime friend, Big Dickie over here. What's up, Big Dickie?
What's up, Puff a lot?
You know, same old, same old. Thank you for coming on today on the show. We're just about to talk to our homie Big Dickie. We've been doing stuff with him for a while. We've known him for even longer. Um, and it's a true honor having him as a guest. And we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna be blazing, having fun, asking questions like we do, and playing some music. So yeah,
The
thanks, man, for
honor's
being
all
here.
mine. The honor's all mine, man.
Yeah, thank you for being here today.
Thank
Hey,
you for having me, guys.
hey guys. So, you know, I've known Matt for we've known Matt for a while. He went to our high school. I didn't really know he was into the music game until like a little bit later, and I'm happy that I do know because he makes some good music. Um, and we're just doing this to introduce him to the world, just like we introduce everybody else to the world. So, a couple things here. Do you mind if I call you by your real name,
No,
or
that's fine. I'm not on stage or nothing. I kind of put on like an attitude like backstage and on stage, but when I'm just chilling, that's just Matt.
yeah, yeah? Because the only reason I say this because we always tend to start off saying a certain name, but we end up like going back and forth between the person's real name.
Well, here's the thing. Part of the pseudonym, part of the stage name itself is playful and fun, and it allows me to sort of step outside of Matt and step outside of my personal life or my things and just kind of like be a little more, I don't know, cheeky and relatable in a way.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. It's a different persona. That's the same as my name. Well,
Yeah.
so I guess we're gonna just go ahead and let me, as I say the all the podcasts, like segment where we do the questions, and with the questions, we get into the mind of the artist. So here we go. I know you have a variety of interests in music, but what specifically got you into hip hop?
What was it, man?
Well, outside of listening, um, when I lived in Boston, I worked with a number of rappers as a DJ and producer. And so I have spun records since I was 16 years old or so. And I've maintained some form of that throughout my career where I was a DJ and producer. And so I had a studio. I would do small singles for cats. I would do, take a couple rappers in and just cut a track really raw and like burn a CD and like $50, boom, out the door,
Nice.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In the middle of all that, I got involved with a couple of different production companies in Massachusetts, both as a DJ, sort of not as a resident DJ, but kind of a go-to guy, if you will, for like backing their artists. So if they had a lineup of like a few MCs, I might DJ the whole night. But I played with a specific MC called Vice Versa. And I want to give a shout out to James. He's got a really sick sort of debut album called James and the Giant Beats. That was like the first album that I was sort of like on the tour of, that supporting that artist and like a single artist. So the Boston rap scene was pretty strong. There were all sorts of different elements to that. And there were also some artists in Worcester, Massachusetts that I worked with. That did hip hop as well. And we sold like CDs out of the trunk of the car
Oh wow,
back in the day,
nice. Old
And
school.
so, yeah, so like it was just like a concerted team effort rather than each of us trying to sell like a single of our own. It was, I helped out on a couple of tracks on the album. It wasn't a big thing for me. It was more in support of like the whole group, and everybody sold the same CD.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think there's like a lot of value to collectivity still, like sort of the zine culture, selling CDs and like even other media to like hype it up. I see a lot of cats doing stuff online, and then like when they have a show or something, there's nothing there to be had.
Okay, yeah.
So like I was always doing promotion and merch and stuff like that on the back end of live shows.
Very cool. Still
So
awesome.
that kind of got me into it. And then, you know, in terms of singing and rapping, I've always been a singer. I don't really claim to be a rapper like
Why? Your flows are
formal.
good.
Yeah, so I rap, right? Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine, but I'm not like primarily that, right? So,
Yeah,
you know,
gotcha.
I have a lot to say. I would say, you know, I have a lot of rhythm and different influences.
Yeah.
But I'm a singer and a producer and all of these other things as well.
Yep, you are all that.
See,
So
that's why I posed the question, because yeah, I mean, yeah, I know you venture into other genres besides just hip hop, but in hip terms, I guess you're just being around it, I guess, is what got you into it, right?
you just hit a point in your life where you have to say stuff, and that's when you rap, right? And it's like, you know, for a lot of my life, I didn't feel like I had to say anything. And then like now I feel like I have shit to say. Like that's important. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, if I don't say shit and if I don't speak my mind, or if I just don't be myself, then that's not like the best version of myself or whatever. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, you got to get up and get funky sometimes. And that's just when the spirit hits you, you know, there's no
Yeah.
planning for it. I feel like same with writing, you know, sometimes I'll go for a while without writing. I'll like be doing other shit. And then like, I'll be like, oh, damn, I haven't written in a while. I need to focus and like get back down to business, you know, because it's a process. You know, rapping is not something that, in my opinion, is not something that you're innately born with. Rapping is something that you spend hours and hours writing in a journal and
Yep.
developing different rhythms and flows, freestyling
Yep.
on your own,
Yeah.
taking time to suck and then getting better over time. You know what I mean? And
That's
being
good.
confidently so though, you know what I mean? Like you step up and that's part of the game for me, is just being sort of in the moment.
Humble too.
I think in a way, not humble, just, you know, um, it, if I approach a big name rapper for a feature, I tell them exactly what I am, right?
Yeah.
Like and I don't front about like I'm this or that. I'm not something crazy. I'm not like totally G'd out, but
Well, that's humble.
you know, we make music, you know what I'm saying? And like, so this is like a bigger mission, a bigger sort of
You'll not be like, I'm the best one out there. You better.
no,
Yeah.
I'm definitely the best one out there, but I mean like the
No, I'm
relationship
saying
with
you're
all of
not
the
saying
other
that.
ones.
You're not just calling people out.
No,
Be
no,
like,
you got
I'm
to
the
look at it
best.
this way, bro. I'm the best at what I do.
Yeah.
That's true. See, that's okay.
I'm the best. I'm number one at what I do, and no one else does exactly what I do.
What you
And so
do the
that I
way
can
you do it.
confidently say that. And like, I challenge anyone to prove that like
Yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
you know, in a public forum. Like, I'm not saying I'm the best rapper. I'm not saying I'm the best beat maker. I'm not saying I'm the best, you know, painter or artist. I just,
You're the best at
I'm
what you do, though.
at all around. I'm living the number one in the high score list in my head, right? So, you know, all other people that come to me, I want to come with also their own high score list and be like, oh, well, like we just haven't compared high score lists, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like that sort of confidence for me goes a long way in the younger generation of rappers that I've been working with or seeing on the scene here in Northern Virginia. And I think, and even more further reaching, some of the regional artists that have gained national appeal. And so I think that, you know, there is some element of balance that you have to do as an artist. And that's sort of why, you know, I go by Big Dickie, is because, you know, Matt Nolan wouldn't put on big chains and go like, you know, do this big thing. But like Big Dickie would love to do that shit.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like, and so like you look at like somebody who comes from humble beginnings and then they go to like big $1 million chains and so on and so forth. you know, there is a space for that because the audience is expecting it. And so as an artist, you're always balancing. Artist is a service industry, just like any other service. You have to serve the clients first and foremost. So like, what are you doing? You're making a song that pleases everybody's ear, right? And you have a persona to deliver that song that pleases everybody's eyes, or like their hearts or their minds, you know, or all of the above. And so the best artists can bring a holistic, egoless approach to that, where they're like their artist name all the time, but they're also like behind the scenes like Keith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that there's so much value to being able, you know, I don't release just one artist name. You know, I have a label that releases like 10 artist names.
Right.
And all of them have different niches and different ideas
Expressions,
and genres, if you will, and different things like that. And
totally awesome.
Yeah, it's just it's tricky to do promotion in that situation, right?
Yeah.
But that's why it's sort of reinventing, because I don't want to go on Facebook and say, Matt just released this song. I don't want to promote to my friends and family anymore, right? I just want the music, if and when it connects with people, that the music does that, and not any sort of social media push or unnecessary,
like the natural progression of the music.
Yeah, I don't want to do sponsored ads and push it on my friends list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
This is where it gets tricky because, like, for example, like I'm Kalishnikov Red now, but I wasn't Kalishnikov Red all the time. Like I was Spider Monk, I was Brown Recluse, I was this, that, and the other. And when you do start streaming, advertising, and all that stuff, it becomes like a headache if you have a lot of different, you know.
Yeah, we had groups too, like
so we had to like
Kogo Monks, Urban Revolts, this, that.
We had to decide at one point, all right, it's gonna be Koga Monks and that.
Dilly Venoms.
that. But I feel you though, like it's
tough, so much.
Like an organic thing between you and the artist. Like
you
know, like me and Kalishnikov Red, there's like a thing there. Like it's not separated. But at the same time, like it's a mind state. That's what it is. Like when I get to that Kalishnikov Red mind state, that's where like it is different. But
yeah, like I like Sir Puff. He's Big Dickie right now. He likes being Big Dickie for fun.
All right, so
right. Big Dickie is fun for you.
Big Dickie is always fun, but not for, you know, not for everyone. You know, Big Dickie is
for you though.
Big Dickie's fun for me. Yeah, Big Dickie's fun for a large corner of the earth.
No, okay, so because of production, right? So what other stuff besides hip hop have you like worked on, produced, that kind of genres like of music?
Primarily reggae.
Give me 1 second. No, you guys keep talking.
You're good. Primarily reggae music.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna be like, yeah, reggae. Tell us about your reggae there.
Yeah, I've released some reggae music in the past under a bunch of different bands, and I've played as a musician in reggae bands. And sort of back and forth, fronting a band back in the day. Since the early 2000s, I've been involved in reggae and guitar, mostly singing, some band leading or organizing, arranging, rehearsing, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Booking tours, all of those. Yeah, I worked in the music industry and then like toured a bit, right? So I worked for like different theaters and different companies, like large promotional companies doing production for their concerts and stuff like that. And
So when you say reggae, like, do you
More than just singing, playing instruments, like we know, but to tell the people, like,
no, like what genre of reggae? Like, did
oh, more specific. Well,
you
oh
roots?
yeah, I mean all
all
different,
those questions,
all
writing,
different
singing,
genres,
playing,
right?
what genres, yeah, types of it, yeah.
Dub was always like the deepest connection for me. King Tubby and some of the early remixers of music,
Okay.
the knob writing, aux send,
Mm-hmm.
delay,
The
tape delay, playing remixing live, and like on the, you know, the old mixers had big rotary knobs. They didn't have like faders like this, so you see these cats just like
mm-hmm.
kind of doing a dance, and like that they had, you know, early faders as well. They were masterful on their craft. But those types of influences really early on, and then sort of I joined a band in New York City as a guitar player that really influenced me as a musician overall. And it was just like it was coined as a Haitian roots music band.
Interesting.
Okay, and they called it Musique Raisin, and it was the band was called Chovi Guinen. And so Chovi Guinen had a bunch of, like, it was like a multicultural band, so it had so many different elements, but the core element was that the drummer was from Nigeria, and he had played with this reggae artist, a really famous reggae artist who I think passed away early, like tragically, but he played with him in the 80s. His name was Majek Fashek. Yeah, and Majek Fashek had like a couple. Anyway, so like I learned a lot of the African rhythms from the drummer in that band.
Oh wow!
Like, and it was a different type of African rhythms than you have in reggae, if you will. But yeah, anyway, so like I got. Sorry, go ahead.
Was it like African beat?
Yeah, it was like
tribal,
African war rhythms,
like tribal war rhythms or something.
No, like African beat meaning like Fela Kuti.
a little bit, yeah. So it was sort of a mix of Afrobeat, Caribbean, and reggae, and then like jazz.
Oh man, that's
nice.
Like,
all right, I got a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. You know what? Real quick, what got you started in music making in general? Like when and why? Like what got you like, I want to make music?
good question.
That's a good question. What made me want to do music overall, like just in general?
Yeah, like yeah. Why did you decide to start making music for yourself?
Well, I didn't actually decide to start making music for myself. In fact, when I decided to go doing music, I kind of went along the path of helping others with music. So from a pretty early age, I started recording, and I started recording other people playing music. And so it was partially just a journey of like community, and it was like I was truly on a path of like engineering.
No, that's a
You
good
know?
lead. That's definitely a good lead up. That's a good lead
Yeah,
up.
it was more for a job, you know. I thought, you know, there were a number of different creative jobs that could be done that related to audio engineering, and it turns out that I was kind of right, you know, going into all these different areas afterwards, you know.
But still, what happened one day, one morning? You woke up, where you were like, I got like a song I want to make. Like, I want to have a band or something. I want to be a singer in a band. I want to have like what?
Nah, I mean, I don't know if it was ever like that. It's like I was always banging on pots and pans. I was always at a harmonica. I always had some way that I was trying to make noise. You know what I'm saying? Like
All
with
right.
whatever was around.
Fair
So,
enough.
and there was always encouragement to do it. I always had some way of a creative outlet. I either a keyboard or a guitar or a kazoo or something was around. And if not that, actually, my earliest influences were at my church.
Okay.
And going to a Baptist church in the South, it was singing like pretty high energy hymnal and pretty
Uh,
like loud and upbeat, and learned how to read sheet music that way, following along, and learned how to sing 4-part harmonies that way, looking at the sheet music and just listening to the different parts. Everybody was just singing them out loud. You could hear them every Sunday. So it was like a free music education that way, real early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different influences that come in when it comes to music. I taught music my whole career. I've taught music, so I have I have 2 degrees in music. I have a bachelor in music and music synthesis from Berklee College of Music, and I got a
Awesome.
master's of music in music composition.
Wow. That's
So
really dope.
more traditional. So I have a little bit of both sides, traditional and contemporary music stuff. And once I like worked in the industry enough, once I worked at like nightclubs and I was part of the scene doing all of that, like I was very much in it. Like I was like, let's go. I'd say in like 2002, I really caught the bug, and like I formed my own band and started promoting, recording, writing songs, like forming an image, booking locally, relationships with all the different people, passing out flyers and promoting, and networking.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you've been making music for a long time. I mean, I love like everything that you've had your hands in. You've always shared, I've been fortunate enough to hear stuff you've always shared with me. And you're one of the most talented musicians I do know. And brilliant minds too when it comes to just understanding things and being like cutting edge with things. So,
And see,
Appreciate that, man.
like Amin here, he was my gateway into making music. Like prior to being with him, I took guitar, I took guitar, I took saxophone, and I took viola. And my favorite it was the sax. So like in essence, like I still want to I want to delve into, because as I've gotten older, like I mean I've always, being from a Latin background, like you have music constantly playing in the house, and it's like for everything, for every party and everything. So like music was always in my life, but as I got older, like my interest, hip hop is my thing, but my interest has gotten more into like jazz. So I wanna definitely incorporate more jazz into my hip hop, and I want to learn the trumpet. But for me, like, see, you guys, I envy you guys, because like sheet music to me is like Chinese. I can't make nothing from that. Like I can't read nothing. And like I have my little, Akai Professional ALPK 25, but I'm like I play by what, okay, this sounds okay. This sounds, great. Let me just go with that. I have no mathematical
yeah,
knowledge,
you're playing by ear. Yeah.
right? And it's that sucks, because I'm like, if I hear like a little thing that I can play, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I can expand on that. But I'm like, is it this key? Is it that key? Like, you know what I mean? So like, I gotta learn that. I feel like that's my next step. Like I started off as just an MC, and that was it. I never thought that I'd be rapping, period. But then I never thought from there that I'd be making beats. So I'm like a beginner at that, and to admire like both of you guys' knowledge when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I feel like, yeah, I do have to learn those things, like just for my own pleasure, because I want to expand on my beats. I don't want to just keep it that. I want to play. I don't even know what to fucking call it. It's not that one key. It's like couple keys. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I can see what Matt's a great musician, and he's also a teacher for other things like video game making. He's a talented guy. He's been part of it, a lot of this kind of stuff, and definitely I look up to him. Even though I can do a lot of stuff myself, because I see what you're saying. You're looking up to both of us saying this kind of stuff, because a lot of young cats out there who are gonna be listening to this are gonna be like trying to learn things too, and so and someone like Matt or Big Dickie, Matt Nolan, Big Dickie, aka. But he, a talented guy like this, there's a lot you can. I still learn from Matt every day. He'll ask. I tell you, I call him asking questions all the time. I'm not ashamed of calling and saying, "Hey man, like, can you teach me to explain something to me?" You know what I
Uh,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like it's good to have friends like this. I've been
Yeah,
blessed with friends. Like
yeah, likewise. Yeah,
and
we're blessed.
and and it's cool. It's cool. I've learned a lot, and I want to keep on learning. And both of you guys are inspiration to me because, like, for reals, like you went to school, Matt. Like we have another friend, Andy, who went to school for that as well. What did he go to school? Do you remember exactly? It was music theory, right? Or
Yeah, oh, yeah, music theory and that kind of stuff.
yeah. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like I've been blessed to have musical friends. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to like do a little bit more Latin jazz infused with hip hop. That's like my next like what I'm trying to figure out. You know what I mean? So I like I said, I want to buy a trumpet. I want to be able to play the trumpet and so on and so forth. Like guitar, I don't have fingers for guitars. Like my hands, all I would do in guitar class is just lay on the floor. You know what I mean? And then like saxophone, it was good, but I only played it like in fifth grade. And that was it. And viola was the same, like sixth grade, and that was it.
You know, going back to trying to play instruments like those, like, man, I don't know if you were playing each of those instruments on your reggae music when you made your own reggae music, but it sounded like you did everything from production all the way to the lyric writing and performance yourself and
Yeah,
recording.
but I was again, I would say that's a case of staying in my lane. So if there were people in my circle that could play the trumpet, I wouldn't dare touch it.
Mm.
I wouldn't even touch it. I would just record them playing the trumpet because they
Yeah,
can do it in 30 seconds, and it would take me 3 days to learn the part and rehearse it and get it right and like the fingering and like okay and like develop the right embouchure. They're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I could be like, and they'd be like, yeah, and like done. You
yeah,
know, it's done. It's the same with sampling. It was almost always easier. By the time sampling became illegal, it became easier to just remake a sample that I liked rather than trying to clear it. And so
mm,
you just get a trumpet player to go ba da 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 da, right, rather than sampling that off of a record, and then you're past any sort of anyway. So like it's your own sort of creative way to do it if you do it yourself, and that you get a different sound. Some of my earliest recordings I did everything myself because I didn't know many people.
You,
mhm.
you did, right? I mean, you're diverse. You play more than one instrument. You play multiple instruments. Am I correct about
Yeah,
that?
I make my beats and I play most of the instruments. The last single that I released, I collaborated with one of the people that I call is like my dream band. Um, he's a multi instrumentalist as well in South Africa, and
Mhm.
so he played bass, like fretless bass, and
Oh wow,
drums on my last single that I released.
nice.
And so that's like the first beat that I sort of collabed with, partly because he's always just bugging me to collab. And he's also like a big supporter. He likes my tunes. He's like, yo, this is a big tune. Let's work on it. Like, da da da. And I needed that kind of energy in another person or producer if I'm working with them, like as an artist.
Right.
I met with another producer and he was like really cool too. He was also the same way. He was like an engineer background, but he's very creative. Oh, I could hear harmonium on this and like I could hear this and like sort of going
Mm.
out into like producer mode and like take it into the studio and layer stuff over top of it. And I think that's where you can like draw a line of like where somebody becomes a producer is sort of like you can bring all these elements together.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're the engineer, it doesn't matter if you did play the guitar or not. It's like you're producing it, you brought it all together, regardless of who played what or if you're
Right.
on the clarinet, right? So
Just try to make it
it's
all sound good and come together.
it's music in the end. Yeah, if I have the ability to reach out to musicians and say, "Hey, will you do me a favor and I'll help you out?" Or perhaps it's somebody that I've already helped out in the past that I can call and say, hey, you know, like I got this track. Let's make like a like break beat or something over top of it or whatever it may be, to make it pop. You know.
No,
Nice.
that's what's up, man. So like one of these other questions, a little bit more specific to hip hop and your taste in hip hop.
Yep.
What would you say is like your favorite era of hip hop, both lyrically and musically?
For me, like peak hip hop in my life and timeline is like Most Def and Talib Kweli and like The Roots.
Okay.
Nice.
You
nice,
know, it's
nice.
like it's sort of like that
Organic.
sort of booming beats live. I saw The Roots a number of times. I saw Most Def and Talib Kweli. I've seen a couple of other sort of from that genre and era. I got to see early on. I got to see Guru rap, and Guru was like an amazing
Yeah.
rapper from
Wait,
my.
did you see? Like, did he do Gangstar, or did he do Jazzmatazz?
I don't know what kind of material he did, to be honest. I remember him freestyling and doing a few things. It was at a hip hop night in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Yeah, it was.
Lucky, man, because rest in peace. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was one of the best freestylers I ever saw live.
Oh, he
From my
actually
memory.
freestyle. He freestyle live.
So yeah, so he actually was the first rapper I ever saw do that, where he said, "Okay, everybody, take something out of your pockets and
he like
hold it up in the air." And then he would start rapping
light
like
it. I'm the
about all.
fighter.
Yeah. He would go all around the room.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
it was cool stuff. Mr. Liff, out of Boston.
I've heard Mr. Liff.
Yeah, I messed with Mr. Liff hard. One day I was DJing in Cambridge with my friend Norm, and we were playing sort of like a drum and bass jungle set, like on a generator PA show, out like early EDM, if you will. And up walks Mr. Liff in the middle of the afternoon and freestyles for like 45 minutes while we're on the turntables.
Oh shit.
And that was like, that turned me on to a whole other journey, singing and rapping over like drum and bass beats. So I rocked a bunch of parties in Boston early on where it wasn't really a genre. It was like jungle, you know what I'm saying? But it was like rapping and singing and chanting, sort of all mixed, sort of dancehall style, sort of.
That's fun. That's real fun.
Yeah, so that was like real early on in what you might call MC times for me.
Oh yeah.
Was sort of like,
those are great MCs too. And that time frame, I mean, I love Mos Def and I love Guru and Talib. Like I've always respected him, but now I'm getting more into him than I did before. Because now it's like I'm older and I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel those lyrics a lot more. But back then when he came out, I was just more into Mos Def. But that one song that he has with Talib on Respiration, I don't know if you know that song, but that song, man, forget about it. Black Star, that's what it was.
fair.
But yeah.
Drum and bass, man, all day, every day. Jungle drum and bass.
Don't you remember, like back in the day, there was this like group that like was doing like sort of like drum and bass and was flowing. This is like when we first started. You remember
the Alchemists? They're called, or something like that.
Man, yeah, I heard
local from Richmond or something like that.
Alchemistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool you know about that. I was like wondering, I was like, I gotta look these people up, man. Because
I used to play with those cats, like concerts with them.
Nice.
I think we played one of their first like big headliner shows.
Oh wow.
Oh, man.
Shit. I don't know, like there's a bunch of like random people who are big now that like started exactly when I started back then. They just kept going for 20 years. I've been doing 80 fucking different things. Excuse my, I don't know if I can cuss on this, but
yeah.
All right. So I've been doing like 80 different things, and it's just it all comes back around though. You know, I just chose to focus and had extra time to focus on my music stuff and songwriting and a little bit more like self-reflective time in my life as opposed to like looking outward at community and trying to big up other people.
Yeah.
All right, guys, look, I'm gonna have to step out for a little bit. Just do your thing. I gotta do medicine.
All right.
We're definitely doing our thing.
All right. So, yo, I got a question for you, my homie.
Yes, sir.
No, you're also an artist, aren't you? I just wanted to ask about your paintings and stuff and your artwork you've been making lately.
Yeah, you trying to check a couple out?
Yeah. Let me get.
I'm in my gallery right now, so it's a good good moment here.
Nice. That's awesome. Dope, man. Oh yeah. Man, these like bring back so much memories, all of them. Wow, like so many things. Oh wow. Hey, that's fun. That's really cool. Oh. Oh. That's a Winnie the Pooh guy. Oh, you made these guys here? These things we're looking on the table?
Yes,
Oh.
I paint all these.
How's that paint? They're sculptures?
Yeah, they're like toys and piggy banks and cookie jars and
Wow, how do you make those guys?
yeah, I paint them.
You paint them.
Yeah, they like start off colors and
Oh.
then I paint them.
Oh wow. Now it
To
looks
be
like
black
a
and white.
yeah, it looks like a black and white like Twilight Zone. Oh, that's dope. Look at this Tom and Jerry up in there. Nice. Man, those are really cool, man. This is
Thank
like
you.
yeah. Oh, look at those are those Care Bears?
It's the Grateful Dead
Oh,
marching
Grateful Dead.
bears. Yeah.
Marching Bears for Grateful Dead. Okay. Uh, is that Elmer Fudd?
Yeah. Elmer Flood, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. He's selling all of his crypto in 2020.
Oh shit! Damn. Oh, that looks cozy. I like that. That's some books and
It's like books in a bubbler.
yeah. And is there something like what? Oh, I like that one. A little leaf, like I mean the feather. Yeah. Some music sheet there.
Yeah, it's like a composer's desk.
Nice.
Yeah, I just did a few new ones, but I haven't hung them yet. I've done a bunch of these that people like, the balloon dogs
Oh, that's cool.
in nature.
Nice.
A
That's
lot of
fun.
those.
That's fun. That's fun.
This one here is like,
Oh yeah, the Futurama
yeah,
and your balloon dog
and the balloon dog.
and the nature.
Yeah.
Nice.
So all different stuff, all different vibes, you know, different paintings. And I'm out here in rural town with my art gallery here and thrift shop on the other side, on the other half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm out here usually on the weekends.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
also
man.
where we shot my first music video.
Oh yeah, the one you shared with me. That's right.
Yeah, we shot it out here, out front, and out back here. There's a train that goes by, and we watch the train go by. You know, pretty fire.
All right, guys, I'm back.
All right.
So, sorry about that. I had to give my dog some medicine. I know that killed some time. Do you guys, Matt, do you want to share your stuff? Do you want to?
Yeah. Like so with that Google Drive they sent me, I got those 2 songs.
Now that you guys are talking about that video, which I dug, and that's the type video I like that song.
If we can get the link to, we can do it. We can do it maybe later also and share that that video that you had. If you want to share the music video. But,
Yeah, whatever's clever, guys. Which 2 songs? I have 4 songs in that folder. Can you refresh it and make sure? Which songs are you showing right there?
What I see is Blind Date, Lap Dance, Smash Up, and then there's AIFs of Ethanol and Hometown.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So I can share any of those that you'd like to.
All right. Well, let's.
And then the chat here you sent me.
I sent you my like the Haitian Roots music band. We don't have to listen to it. It's something you could like save for later and check out their stuff if you want.
Okay, we can put that. Sure.
Thanks for the link, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a couple different tracks out right now. My first track out is sort of meta parody, kind of serious, kind of fun and playful, like country trap or rap kind of beat. Very sing-songy, not really rapping at all or hardly rapping at all.
It's got a really good feel to it. I did.
What is it?
Yeah,
Hometown?
it's
Is it Hometown?
Yeah, Hometown. So that's my first, big hit single, if you will, of the year is Hometown. I've been pushing the music video for that, and it's had a great response. We have like local celebrities in the music video as well, who like all get shout out like locally now, which is hilarious. Like, hey, like people are posting pictures of them online and stuff. Anyway, so got that. I released very quietly after that a song called Blind Date. So why don't we take a listen to that, I suppose, as the first song. Because I didn't do any promotion. I haven't filmed a video for it or anything like that. And
Okay.
Feel free to ask me anything you want, or we can just listen to it.
Do this. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is your last chance to harass. I'm moving out of town, I'm westbound. I guess I'm moving on. So I bless you with one last song. New place in CA, been rooted in VA, been needing looking for some sea change, studying tapes and watching replays. I won't be caught traveling in deep space, cause I scribble and dribble with both hands and be safe. Feel like now more than ever we need to behave. Better late than never, better never be late. Dates is 7, but in a whip it takes 3 days. Rates irrelevant, I laid tracks in less than 3 takes. Talent wasted in 3 ways. Potent potions can't see straight. Ocean motions waves 3 ways. Banana shout out to the grills, deep caves. Fish and green banana on the grill, we eat great. You gotta top the charts to be paid. They say you gotta pay just to be played. They say you gotta pay just to be played. They say you gotta pay just to be played. Think about that. Got a blind date with California. I recorded this message just to warn you. There's still gold in the hills, I'm coming for it. I gotta learn to behave like a Californian. Gotta get smaller clips for the carbon. Stock exhaust tips for some compact SUV. Train it all in for some new POV. New goals, update the address, a new CIP somewhere near you. 90213. I bet it beats old DC. I bet my beats be well received. I know this sounds deep, but it's straight from the heart. Creative energy, we seek a new start. We need a place where we can be who we are. Life and facts be unique, and we be stars. Gas in a boost, leave you in a gold dust. They laughing at you, but it's a new gold rush. Half a mongoose, a snake is your lust. California girl dislike an old crush. She's hard to get over, make you lose focus. She makes you pay to play and then you go bust. She makes you mask up your face and it's hard to build trust. She's a brand new game, but she's got an in-app purchase. She's a pretty butterfly, but she's up in your guts. She's known to cause peaks and deep breaks in your stress. Sun shines in a way it makes you look your best. You be you, do be do, she do the rest. Scooby-Doo, Shaggy-Doo, moving out west. Is the MC most likely to speak specific? I'd like a nice view of the Pacific. I'm still a nice king, just no more country living. I'm swapping, stargazing for the lights of the city. Dreamcast is dream chasing, dream taping, dream with me. A live feed of me escaping, I took the red pill recently. Got a blank date for California. I recorded this message just to warn you. There's gold in the hills, I'm coming for it. I gotta learn to behave like a California. Gotta get smaller clips for the carbon. Stock exhaust tips for some compact SUV. I traded all in for a new POV. When I get there, what can you show me?
Smooth.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was good.
Don't even know my address now.
Yeah.
I'm just chasing success now.
Yeah.
Don't even care about
Woo.
the rest now.
Thank you very much.
No, man, really dug that. So what was your process on that? You did the whole thing, and like, how did you come about? Like what was the process on that?
Yeah. This song was very much just a song that the hook sort of came into my head. Like, if there's still gold in the hills, I'm coming for it kind of vibe. You know, there's an old country song that kind of influenced me on that line of thought. And so I sort of came up with this hook and then, you know, wrote with the imagination and idea. And I think, like, just the honest notion that my music perhaps is a little bit more geared towards maybe a Western audience or the commercial side of music a little bit more than I've ever done before in my career anyways. And so it's sort of like a metaphorical story about like going out west, like with the style of the song and like singing a little bit and stuff like that. And I think also just the imagery that it may evoke as well, you know.
Very, very good imagery.
Yeah, imagery I got in my head, like, it evoked an imagery. Like,
both of the beats and the lyrics, with the flow, like, and the way with the, I wouldn't say the way the sentiment is there between the music and the lyrics. Very well
Yeah, it's got a quality of like recorded on voice memo almost vibe, like with the voice sound and like the EQ and stuff that I'm doing to it, and the type of microphones that I use. And so based on, you know, a lot of that, it just kind of has that like almost like you're hearing it over voicemail almost, but it's like produced out. So you're like, oh, there's, you know, okay, it's like, it's a little, I think modern audiences are used to hearing lo-fi voice. And so they kind of like, it's an aesthetic as well that lends itself to that more emotional feel. Because you can't scream into those mics, you can't go really loud into those mics. You have to be kind of light on them.
So real quick though, like you were talking about mics. So what program do you use?
I'm mostly using Logic Pro.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
But on this computer, I don't have a ton. Audacity, Logic Pro. I have a sample generator software that I use to do like 8-bit sounds for like fillers and stuff called BFXR. It's an open source software.
Yeah.
Shout out BFXR. There's a lot of different tools out there to be used. You know, I can use any software basically, right? So I'm not like super hip to a bunch of PC software, but most audio software, you put me in Reason or Ableton Live or Pro Tools.
And using Macintosh mostly?
Yeah, I'm on Mac platform. So, you know, most of my beats and stuff, I've been working in Mac since 1999, to be honest with you.
Nice.
For digital audio.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Mac myself. I have PC, so I use PC platform, and I mean it's good and all, but like I just feel like the Mac is a better.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to art and music, Mac can be a million times
Yeah, yeah.
easier. But I mean, I got both. I like both. I'll always use both, even from
Yeah.
software, hardware. But everything is good. But yeah, I mean, but
I have
Mac,
PCs
Mac,
for PCs for gaming, right? So
yeah,
I have PCs with like
yeah.
GPUs
Like
and
F Mac
high
for gaming.
memory and like nice
Mac,
displays, and then you
yeah,
have Macs for like you can record everything and
yeah,
produce it, and then like
yeah,
Yeah, when I went to school for graphic design, it was just Macs. So
yeah.
mm.
I feel you. I gotta get so expensive, man. God damn. But yeah, no, man. Cool, cool. I dug
So
that.
as a matter of fact, I have my main studio Macintosh is from 2010.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Mine's old like
So
that.
it's got equipment that's now considered obsolete,
Mhm.
right? But I can record a full band and mix and do all sorts of stuff
Yeah,
with
no,
it
I
that
feel
like
you. I
it's
feel you.
almost impossible to even find the hardware to do that on a modern Macintosh now, unless you go
Spend like
full Pro
hella,
Tools HD and
yeah.
like all sorts of
Spend
automation tools.
spend
Yeah,
some bucks
and like
on it.
right now,
Yeah, just
like
50 G's or something to get that going. And it's like I don't know. I'm like, I worked really hard to get that board back in the day, right? So like, once I got it, I was like booming, like making recordings all the time, and that was my main interface of PreSonus Studio Live 24. Um, and then I use different microphones and stuff like that, and sort of settled on like cheaper mics actually that I liked better than some of my more expensive ones. So
Yeah, been there, done that.
yeah, the expensive ones just sit in their box, and the cheaper ones get used like workhorses. Kind of like an expensive car or guitar.
yeah, like
That's true. It happens like that. I mean, technology gets better, so sometimes the cheaper stuff is like,
Man, my studio has been reduced down to a laptop in the most part.
yeah, yeah.
I've
I
gotten
got a
so
little
good
guy
at in the
right there.
box production, just taking presets and making them my own. I have a degree in music synthesis, so I can go into a synthesizer and I understand every single component of the internal structure of synthesizer. I teach, Serum and some of the more
Yeah,
advanced synthesizers for independent study students later in their college careers. And so when I go in and pick a horn sound, like I can tweak it to make it my own, even if it's from a preset built into
yeah,
Logic.
yeah.
So
It's
it's
cool.
really a skill that you can pick up to go from any software
And
because
and
you have the knowledge base, right? And you just like you
and
take that from
to
one
go to
thing.
hardware as well. Hardware can
Yeah.
help you understand the software this way. If you're given this software, you might be able to. If you've had hardware before and you understood your hardware, you'd definitely be able to like understand the software when you had it. And if you had software and you learned on there, and then someone gave you hardware, you'd be like, I know how to use the hardware too.
Yeah, you'll understand better like signal flow,
Yeah,
and how the line, of effects will affect the way overall it
yeah,
sounds.
yeah.
Um,
You'll know things about LFOs and all that kind of oscillators and whatever kind of waves these kind of things you're picking. So this is like a lot of stuff.
yeah, those are the building blocks of modular synthesis.
like
Yeah,
cool and that like whatever like because yeah I have a VST that's can't remember the name of it right now, but it has just knobs and everything. It's a red one, and it's just synthesizer, but it's that kind of like that G funk sound, that like, but you gotta like tweak it, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, the words you guys are saying, like oscillator and like all that, I see it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Let me move this like this. Maybe it sounds better. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the end, it has to sound good here, right? All the words like are just ways of breaking down different behaviors and different things that it does. Like
yeah.
it has to sound good in the end. So that's why we have presets that sound good that you can reverse engineer with your ear
Not
and
to
just tweaking knobs, right?
just
Yeah, that's the original dub.
Like,
titty twisters.
and this is what
Yeah, knob twisting. Yeah, for
Riding
real.
knobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so you mind if I play another song?
I don't mind at all. I got another few there, and I actually pulled that I may put up there as well.
Oh, you're gonna try to add something to this?
I'm gonna add one, just one. That's like my newest song that I've written. All right, yeah, but yeah, you can pick. I mean, there's a mashup that's more like drum and bass remix of one of my songs. That's pretty fire. There's Ethanol, which is another sort of like R&B. That's the one with the drummer and bass player from South Africa, Ben. And then and then there's another one that's got a little less than 30 seconds to go. That will be up in just a second. So yeah, your choice. If you want to hear like more of a remix mashup, or
I want to click on the next one. Let's see here.
How about Ethanol?
Oh, it's loading something. Hold.
All right.
Do you hear something?
Yeah. It's a mashup for lap dance.
She's halfway to contact. Lap dance in the contract. It's back and brought out. She's halfway to contact with my driving home with her out back. She was raised in the dirty south. Chasing dreams, she's out right now. The beast is down and I guess out. Lap dance in the contract. It's back and be bought out. She's halfway to contact with mask over her mouth. Blooming around in top back. She was ready to the dirty side. Kissing her dreams, she's out right now. She's out on nice guest house. Nothing like smoke, she likes candy, baby. She doesn't really trouble for a stack of paper. She only really drinks with her late night patron. Never the thing, she's taking the day shift. She pops her new nose that tastes like cinnamon. She knows I eat a perfect gentleman. Drops her sweat, drops have adrenaline. Down her neck, she throws something in a bit. Her Georgia peach, when I pit stop into it. I tend to reach, but she's kind of into it. I asked her if she, but she ran up into it. Said she want me, she never ran up into it. Said she want me, to put a cock up into it. She can't be tongue before she begin again. She blew my mind, she was really getting into it. She was on top, she was really getting into it. Lap dance in the contract, it's sad, it's bought out. She's happy in contact with mask over her mouth. Driving home in her out back, she was chasing it. Lap dance in the contract, it's sad, it's bought out. She's happy in contact with mask over her mouth. Blooming around in top back, she was racing to the south. Kissing the dreams, she's out right now. She means she's out on night right
Damn, son.
That's good.
I dug that hard, man.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Appreciate you guys. A little bit different, something a little different.
Hey, man, I love drum and bass personally, and you know me. I'll listen to drum bass. I'll listen to hip hop. I'll listen to mixed up stuff all day. Mashup, you call that, but I love it. It's a nice mashup.
Yeah, it's smooth, man. Like
Nice mix up.
yeah, you would think it was like originally to that song. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it sounds something like nice. Like I could hear that at the clubs. Oh, no problem.
Yeah, my buddy's a DJ out of Colorado. He does DMC DJ battles.
Oh,
And I want to shout out Charlie Swan for helping me out with that mashup. It sounded amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, another collaboration.
I gotta bump that one, man. I really dig that one.
Yeah, man, that whole list of mashups. So I played a few weeks ago, like a month ago almost now. I played at a music festival. It was sort of like an EDM music festival. And I rocked a bunch of those mashups, some of the best ones.
Nice.
That one was lit for sure. So
No, like for the last two songs that you played, like that first one, for instance, like that got me all like they put me like in the desert, like in the evening, driving all fast, like with a convertible, just chilling at nighttime, like when the sun's going down. That's where it puts me. And like your songs put me in places. Like that one, the video, the one that's like the kind of country song, it puts me right there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're petting the cow. Point of view. The hand is like
the music video. Yeah, actually, we could have played the music video itself, if you wanted to.
We can. I've got other stuff where we can watch the video. It's totally up to you guys or the hosts. You can ask me questions. We can listen to more stuff. We could talk about production. We could talk about different stuff. Anything you want.
Well, we can do all that. We can also.
Do you have
any preferences you got? Yeah.
Well, no, I was gonna say, do you have like in between like? I mean, I guess just set up like something, but let me ask Matt some questions here. Damn it. That's what happens when you blaze. like
Okay, so the ethanol and hometown won't play, but
you can play ethanol. You can play ethanol as one of my more recent hits.
No, they won't play. They won't play. Like those two.
Oh, is it because it's an AIF?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That should be interchangeable. Let me see if I can. I'll convert it for you. Hold on just a second.
Sure.
Now,
yeah.
Do you have anything currently that you're a project, anything you're working on?
Yeah, music wise. Yeah. So I have a set. So that's a new thing that I didn't have before, is I have a set.
What is Zulu Bong?
Audio. And hold on just a second.
What is Zulu Bong?
That is not me.
That link you gave me for Spotify took me to this Zulu Bong confrontation.
Yeah, Confrontation is the song from the reggae band that I was in, Chovi Guinen. It was like a Haitian music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Zulu
That's the
Bong.
link. Yeah.
The image has Zulu Bong on there. Yeah, okay. That's okay. It makes more sense, but their artwork says Zulu Bong. That's what. Oh, the album is Zulu Bong.
Okay, that's fair.
Stories from.
Yeah, we had an EP when I was in the band. We didn't have a full album release, so I think he took some of the old stuff and some of the new stuff and released an album.
Like
I sent you the link for that.
Yeah, 9 songs.
All right, so I've got a wave of ethanol, and then what was the other one that we needed? The hometown is the video, so we don't have to convert that, but I converted ethanol for you, and we'll grab that.
Okay.
All right.
Ethanol.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Bigger Better?
Is Bigger Better is my newest song. So leading up to back to Chris's question, that's my newest song. If you want to play that one,
can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's Bigger Better.
Yeah.
It's bigger, better, harder, stronger, faster, mass kids work, yeah. It's deeper, longer, lasting facts, I'ma get the treasure. The beast that leads the pack, all seeking earthly pleasure. She's picking out a bag, she's asking, is bigger better? And if I have a bigger bag, does it just mean I'm spending extra? Is it worth the extra cheddar? Not the average amount of mozzarella. A double coat screw, bigger extra pressure. Then I better pen MCS shit. Is bigger better? Harder, stronger, faster, I'm asking, is worth the effort? Deeper, longer, lasting facts, there's more complexity. The piece that leaves the pack, they all see in earthly pleasure. She's picking out a bag, she's asking, is bigger better? And if I have a bigger bag, does it just mean I'm spending extra? Is it worth the cheddar? Not your average amount of mozzarella. Get a double course screw for an extra pressure. Then I better pen this MCS. It's bigger better. I got 2XL this Koji sweater. Got a secret weapon. A guy just met her. She walk inside a mini sweater. Fits much too tricky, we'll look at her. Much too slippery to get together. Much too trippy, seems scary, weather is bigger better. When we built the blocks, it like it was worth the effort. And now we're in the driver's seat, the tires are shredded. Set up on the stagger, time to freshen. It's bigger better. And if we reinforce it with a little too pressure. Lilies and the orchids don't come from sweet weather. Feathers don't fly birds when they are separated. Letters don't make words when they are made of vapor. A rich man's wealth is just a stack of paper. Remember me, baby. It's bigger, better. Harder, stronger, fast. I'm asking to work the effort. It's deeper, longer, lasting facts. I'm get the treasure. It's a piece that needs the pack, all seeking earthly pleasure. She's picking out a bag, she's asking, is bigger better? And if I have a bigger bag, does it just mean I'm spending extra? Is it worth the extra cheddar? Not your average amount of mozzarella. A double coat screw, bigger extra pressure. Then I better pen up MCS shit. It's bigger better. Harder, stronger, faster. I'm asking, is worth the effort? Deeper, longer, lasting facts. There's more complexity. The piece that leads the pack, they all see in earthly pleasure. She's picking out a bag, she's asking, is bigger better? And if I have a bigger bag, does it just mean I'm spending extra? Is it worth the cheddar? Not your average amount of mozzarella. Did a double course screw for an extra pressure. Then I better pen this MCS.
Yeah, that's just it, man.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where the feature goes right there. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's tight, man. And I really, it's bigger, better. It's a fucking mad.
Thank you, guys.
Of course, bigger is better because it's Big Dickie over here. The bigger the Dickie, the better. Yeah.
If you have a bigger bag, it doesn't just mean you spend an extra.
Shit. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, man. No, great song, man. Great song. Again, this is what your shit just like,
MC Esha.
that was, but your shit puts me in places, man, and I dig it. It's tight.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the feedback. You know.
Okay, so now I guess the other question from here would be, well, like, what's your aspirations, if any, with what you're doing right now? I mean,
What are your goals?
you want it to become big time. I honestly can see it becoming big time. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, what are you doing this? You want to do it? Or are you doing this because you think it's going to be something that's going to go forward? Like, what are your plans on big?
You just did a festival, right? So
I just performed at a festival, and I got bumped from a side stage opening act to the main stage opening act.
nice.
So I got yeah. So I like talked my way into it. I had some friends on the soundboard, and the friend was organizing it. I just sort of the circumstances wouldn't have even allowed me to play my original set. It would have been rained out. and like the stage was literally like a 3.5 minute Jeep ride through the woods. It would have been, 20 minutes walking for each way for people just to come see the set. And it would have nobody would have been there. It would just be me and the lighting guy. So it was a blessing because I got to perform on the main stage on Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Nice.
On a really amazing sound system. And I want to give a shout out to Hennessy Sound out of Richmond, Virginia, for putting on an amazing sounding system. If anybody in the DMV area needs like a boom system, Hennessy. They're super loud, and like at times it felt like I was like levitating. It was just so much bass. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember being at a Cypress Hill show, and like their speakers, that was some boom, you know what I mean? And it got me so much, like it was like I was so close to it that I kind of felt sick. Like I felt like I wanted to throw up. And then I like this other cat, like now granted, everybody was blazing or whatever, but the shit was just boom. And it was like literally he was right in front of it and he just passed out. I was like, do I do something? Like shit. I just walked away. But yeah, man, like when you got those sounds, it makes or breaks the show, you know what I mean? So Hennessy, if they do it and it's like that, then mad props to them, man.
Man, they had like 20 18-inch subwoofers across the front of that stage, man.
Damn.
No joke. It was a huge array of subs, like just raw. Like your stage became the enclosure, and it was incredible what it did. And I can only imagine what it would sound like indoors. Like it would be, you would need hearing protection indoors for sure. Outdoors, it was really therapeutic, to be honest. Like there were people going up and like kind of laying on the subs,
Really?
having like euphoric experiences, sort of just laying on the subs. And like I said, it feels like you're levitating because it's like, it can play like 19 hertz type stuff, like subsonic frequencies that you can't really hear, but you can feel.
You can feel that.
Yeah, and these producers are putting that. It's just like snapping. It's sick. I don't know. It's just a different vibe, but yeah, I had a blast playing the music festival. So I'd love to play opening for more artists at music festivals. I'd love to get involved with a couple of other artists who are in the same headspace, I think, that I am, and the same sort of mentality. People who are connected to their hometowns and their, roots, but also really reaching and reaching out. And so I have a couple artists that I'd like to continue relationships with, local and regional and different artists, and, maybe promote via the normal methods in a little different way than I have been for some of my upcoming things. So my next music video, for example, things like that will be slightly different. I may use the same cinematographer because he's a great guy. And if you guys want any good cinematography in Northern Virginia that is honest and open-minded, Sadiq, CD Casio, or at CD Casio like the radio player stereo, CD Casio. Sadiq is a really great guy, and he'll help you out and shoot your music video for a fair rate. And I'm looking forward to working with him again. Shout out to Low Life Records out of Manassas. Got some great rappers that I greatly admire, and a lot of new studios popping up in the region. So, if anybody needs production or help, I'm open to helping other people. That's kind of my side hustle, or my side mission, is just helping others with their journeys. So, making beats for people. I don't know. I do a little bit of ghost production. and I just like write beats for people and sell it to them, and they can do whatever they want with it. So I do like songs. I'll do like sort of like you do with the AI drawing program, where you say, you know, I'd like a reggae song at 145 beats per minute in the key of B flat major with 9 instruments, like sort of up tempo with like a fun hook, and then I'll turn around and sort of do that for you in a couple of iterations back and forth for a small fee.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
yeah, so that's super fun. So, you know, I like doing that, and it's a good turnaround. It's sort of like doing commissioned artwork as well, you know. So I do a little bit of that as well, paint stuff for people. I started my most recent single, Ethanol. This painting right here is the album cover for Ethanol.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Let's get like a little description on what's going on there, so you can let people know what you see happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's art, so you guys can, you know, look for yourselves.
Well, it's pretty interesting there. It's
That
got
is definitely the album cover.
You got a story to it? What's going on?
In my head, that's the Predator, and that's like some rain, and there's motion over here. This is a circle. There's some drip. This is ink. This is rotten ink that drips.
Okay.
This ink crackles over time, so you get a different finish than the acrylic and spray paint.
All right.
There's been spray paint that's got a lot of motion. This has got a lot of It has a lot of motion.
Yeah.
It has a lot of. It has a lot of
texture to it. Huh?
It has a lot of gas. It has a lot of motion.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's that's sort of the idea behind the tune Ethanol, was just sort of that she's gassing me up with like high grade ethanol gas. Good old corn gas. I uploaded a WAV file to that.
I'm loading it up now. I think it should be there.
Hey. She's catching the ball. She's got it all. Writing graph on the wall. She's bad at math, but her laughing is all. Sexy questions on these, she gon' ask them all. David Bowie, she's an astronaut. Ass and silk sheets, we have them all. Catch a man cheating, she be hacking them all. Henry caught a sleeper, we beat him half a mile. All of my G's, she can have them all. Twisting down the street, she be passing them all of my G's, she can have them all. Henry caught a sleeper, we beat him half them all of my G's, she can have them all. Gassing up me, she needs ethanol. Grassing need, she need Patanol. Got about 3/8 of gas left and all. About to be dry, better grab it all. Gas fused up, shot through the rafters, yo. Dropping heat, she need to catch them all. Team Rocket, she's an astronaut. She packed even more, the ass is hot. Got more G's than an astronaut. More millions than Elon Musk. Sun and moon, she catch like a baseball. She got more heat, she needs to catch them all. Team Rocket, she's an astronaut. Ghost in the shell, she be Abaddon. She'll take a quarter of a half a bone. She doesn't need much to gasoline. It's like the soda from a price last fall. That doesn't hold her from moving gas and all. She take out a hate on a pack of bomb. She sees my Facebook, craves my yo-yo. Knows that my babe relies on JoJo. Knows my woman grace is a safe harbor. Takes an escape from a daily order. The order. Fits into some J's, but she's sleepy harder. Michelin, she gets her heart on. She wanna be the sword and fertilize on. I slip a starter pack with a bird she fly on. Gassing up me, she need ethanol. Grassing need, she need Patanol. Got about 3 gas left and all. Let her be dry, don't grab it all. Gatsby is on shot to the Raptors, yo. Coppin' heat, she needs to catch them all. Team Rocket, she's an astronaut. The more she pack heat, the more the ass is hot. Got more G's than an astronaut. More millions than Elon Musk. Sun and moon she catch like a beast ball. She got more heat, she needs to catch them all. Team Rocket, she's an astronaut. Ghost in the shell, she's Avalon. She'll take a quarter, leave her half a bone. She doesn't need much, leave the gas alone. Slight disorder from a crash last fall. That doesn't hold her from moving gas and all. Take out a hate on a pack of Pomo. She sees my face but praise my yo-yo. Knows that my faith relies on Jaja. Knows my woman brace is a safe harbor. Takes an escape from a daily yada. Yada, yada. She fits into some J's but she's slightly harder. Michelin, she gets a card on. She wanna be the sword to fertilize on. I slip a starter back like a bird she fly on. Gassing up me, she need ethanol. Grassy need, she need ethanol. Got about 3/8, I got slept in all. Better be dry, better grab it all. Yeah, beast on shot to the Raptors, y'all. Coppin' heat, she need to catch them all. Team Rocket, she's an astronaut. The more she pack heat, the more the ass is hot. Got more G's than an astronaut. More millions than Elon Musk. Sun and moon, she catch like a beast ball. She got more heat, she needs to catch them all. Team Rocket, she's an astronaut. Ghost in the shell, she be abalone. She'll take a quarter, leave a half a bone. She doesn't need much, leaves the gas alone.
Nice.
Yeah, give the drummer some. Give the drummer some.
Yeah, that was wicked, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to the drummer because he really took that from a half tempo beat with the snare on 3 to a more up tempo feel with the snare on 2 and 4. And so I ended up mixing the two, like my original beat, the cut time more trap feel with the 2/4.
Yeah.
And you can hear it at times, and then you can hear like synth bass and his bass, woo, like different lines that come in of his fretless that really help emphasize the electronic music. I feel like as a producer, you can reach out to other people for little parts like that to really humanize it, even if it's not like the whole song, right? You don't need the whole bass line, but if you can get them to go do 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 do, right, and like give you a little pass to lead up to the next section, and you use synth for the main, root node or whatever you need to do. It could be really nice to add some life to it. So what do you guys think of that track?
I think the quality was on point. I think the whole kind of imagery it brings is it's awesome. It's feel good music to me. Definitely, yeah. Great quality, great content, and great sound.
Yeah, man. No, it definitely is, man. I really dig it, man. You got it's unique, but I love it. You know what I mean? It's like your own steez, but I love it. Like you were saying, you're the best what you do. And I agree with you 100%. That's the same.
Yeah. I mean, that was the delivery, everything. It's on point, man.
Appreciate you guys. I think the message is be who you are. Don't try and be someone else. If you've got a story to tell, and you feel like telling it, express yourself. Don't let yourself hold it back. Put it out there, regardless of who you are or like what you sound like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, production. With Ben Badenhorst out of South Africa. He plays drums and bass on that, and then I did all the beat making and such. And then the song, that's one of my more recent singles, and I'm considering shooting a music video for that one next.
Oh, I guess that's the next one you want to do. Okay.
Possibly. I mean, there's so many different singles that I have that I'm going to be putting out in the next year or so, I think, or perhaps just an album, and I have to sort of figure out if I want to go really hard on production on one tune. Like that would be the contemporary model. It's just spending $1 million on like 4 to 12 seconds of the video, and then like that's like what you play like 6 million times or whatever. And like yeah, like I put out a vegan taco reel that like got tons of views, right? And then like I wrote a 90-page thesis paper that like 3 people had to read because it was part of their job. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I put all this labor and time in like 2.5 years into like the work that you see behind me and all this other stuff. And like very few people even read it, let alone want to read it. Right. But then you get like, you sneeze and you make a bubble of mucus out of your nose and it goes viral and you're like super famous for that. And you make like a living off of that, like just like monetized, like
Yeah,
snot
crazy.
bubble, And so like, that moment has to be captured though. So I think my next phase is just going to be like more documentation. I hired an assistant here at the shop and they've been doing a great job of selling stuff online and potentially doing more outreach on
that's cool.
platforms that I don't do much outreach on, like Snap and TikTok. I have a whole audience I haven't tapped there that I can and should be. And I think that, part of me is hesitant because I don't really feel like doing any sort of viral promotion or dancing around and like clownery.
Oh no, you want to be you to be authentic.
But at the same time, I think there are millions of people out there that can be a new audience that I haven't really tapped into. So
yeah, there's
you
that's
know,
out there. Yeah, it's out
a
there.
little more pushing.
Just stay genuine. No, you're good.
So,
Yeah.
guys, to be the downfall here, but we are actually over time. So we might have to wrap this up a little bit.
We are running out of time before it starts going to get choppy on us, and I do have to do some editing though, just to make up for that one thing on this. So I'll cut out the
True.
stuff. So we'll still fall in. Still fall in. We have only like 6 hours a month that we can put up. So.
Understand.
Yeah. I know.
Well, feel free to cut me off whenever you want. You can ask me some closing questions, or I can make my closing argument.
Sure. We can wrap it up. Do the wrap it up thing. So, Big Dickie, Matt, we played some of your music here. We got to ask you a hell of a lot of questions. You got to share some of your artwork, and
I got one question.
Oh, he's got one question.
Real quick.
Sure.
What would you say that you have a favorite song that you made?
I have favorites for different things, but it's all mood. It's all, some are more personal that I don't really play for folks that are like really intense and good. I have songs that I wrote a long time ago that still hold a lot of relevance now, things like that. So how do you judge like one versus the other? It's apples and Whoppers.
I guess you find yourself playing some songs of yours more than you play like other songs.
I mean, that's actually more a question for my iTunes, for example.
Yeah.
So let me see really quickly here. It's like songs.
Because I personally do have my favorite group of songs that I've made for my own self. I asked Amin that, and he's like, "No."
Yeah. So Blind Date has a lot of plays on my computer. Trimmings, which is a great tune.
And we can find you just on what can we find you on?
Yeah, I'm on all the major platforms as Big Dickie. For the 3 songs that I've released as singles: Hometown, Ethanol, and Blind Date. Big Dickie, like the clothing brand, Dickie.
Yeah, we'll have links in the description below, everybody.
Yeah, so if you listen on Spotify, iTunes, that kind of stuff. I'm on YouTube for my music video. You can search Big Dickie Hometown, and you should see big old truck. And
nice music video.
Shout out. Thank you. Yeah, more to come. Thank you guys so much for having me out. And I can be reached on Instagram and other platforms at Teeks and Fleas, TIQUESANDFLEAS, Teeks and Fleas.
And you know, we're gonna have you back on.
Yeah, we're gonna have you again. We're gonna shoot more shit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy to shoot shit. Happy to fill up part of the 6 hours as you all see fit. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, we want to get more exposure out there, and we're gonna progress in a way where we can get, you know, the quality, the format, more stuff happening. But the people like you who are down in it, it's in our area, and we're homies with, like, we really want to, like, you know, just you're doing stuff with it, so like we would love to just constantly share what you got going on. You know, you're an awesome talent and a really good friend too, man. So
You guys are the best.
yeah, no, you're the best too.
Thank you for blessing us with all the knowledge that you spit today and giving us a a tour around your art and everything. That was beautiful art. And
Yeah, man, this what an artiste this guy is over
And
here.
even better than sharing my music has been hanging out with you guys.
hey, man,
Oh, likewise. I know. I wish we made it to the thing. I actually was sick as shit, by the way, during that time, so I wouldn't have been able to go. I got
Don't
sick.
worry yourself. There are plenty of opportunities. There are plenty of events. Shout out for Thrift World Convention next Saturday, the 17th of September at the Fredericksburg Expo Center. I'm going to be vending vintage clothing and nostalgia. Fredericksburg Expo Center, Thrift World.
nah, everybody out there that likes that, check them out for reals.
Yeah, come get some vintage drip
Yeah,
for the DMB.
drip.
Vintage droppings.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. All right. Yeah. All right. Awesome, Matt. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight.
All right. Thank you guys very much. Peace and love.
Yep. Peace and love. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Peace, man.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Peace. That's awesome.